demonstrated in a speech I gave immediately after the Dalai Lama spoke in Boulder, Colorado. And I had sat directly in front of the Dalai Lama, staring in his eyes while he spoke. And when he was done, I got up and spoke to a tent full of people who I think paid $500 a ticket to get in, certainly not to see me. But I was inspired to reach some kind of height beyond the ordinary. I must have taken 90 days to write this talk. It's called Absolute Absolution, and it deals with the necessity of throwing God out of government schooling. God was pitched out of government schooling on his ear after World War II. This was not because of any bogus constitutional prohibition, at least not one that the previous century and a half could detect, but because the new state and the new economy considered the Western spiritual tradition too dangerous a competitor to be allowed, and of course it is. When you issue a wild card to every citizen that says you may appeal beyond the decision of our managers and experts to an invisible guide, you're dealing with a situation so unstable that sensible architects knew it had to be gotten rid of. What I'm most proud about in this article, though, is you can't just throw God out. What you have to do is find a way to replace the functions that God serves. I can't give you a religious lecture here, but obviously one of those functions is to deal with the inevitable universal aging, sickness, and death that we all will encounter. But you can move into place a large, minutely articulated medical apparatus and system that more or less, without actually saying it, promises that everything can be taken care of, including death. It's just a matter of time, isn't it? Until we don't have to die. It seems to me I hear that message daily from the medical system. And there are other things, the functions. God holds your hand when you realize that paying the penalty of the forbidden fruit in Genesis, that you're going to have to labor by the sweat of your brow for your bread. Well, no, you don't. You live in the United States. Only fools work. Don't you get stock options, or aren't you in a privileged occupation where the idea of your resources shriveling up don't exist? They constantly renew themselves. There, you don't have to work. Only fools work. Smart people have other people work for them, or they employ machinery. We're not fighting a war in Iraq. Our machines are so superior to the Iraqi machines, which, by the way, we sold them. So it's our new generation of machines against our older generation machines, that I think we should award the medals to our machinery in appropriate ceremonies. Anyway, Absolute Absolution deals with the problem of God, why spirits are dangerous, and what actually the Western outlook on religion teaches. It's an amazing code of easily accessible strengths.